mad about how strong grab ally is. And some people, and first I'm fine with it. If it needs to be nerfed, it needs to be nerfed.
Yeah.
Do not change it though, inherently. It needs to remain, first of all, the name needs to remain grab ally. And it needs to continue to grab allies. Okay. But there's ways to balance it in a way that is fine for the game. But it's the coolest shard.
Ace is being bodied
blood
here.
Grenade.
Courier has been killed.
One more right click will do it. Or a decay. Oh my goodness, he lives.
How did he live? Oh, he was stick at the exact same time as he got decayed.
Interesting. Professional player or something.
So, yeah, we were brainstorming a little bit about possible ideas for nerfing this if it does come down to it. And suggestions that were made was lowering the amounts of health the tombstone has when someone's inside. There was a suggestion
that one's too weird. Next.
There was a suggestion that you couldn't exit whenever you wanted, but if you were grabbed, you had to stay inside for a fixed amount of time. So it was like Astral.
Yep, that's a little better.
OD.
Yep.
And then there was another suggestion, which was, what was it again? That it doesn't spawn zombies while there's an ally inside.
All right, I thought of a better one. As we're going to see the tombstone placed, Ace will be able.
Brood might become a big issue for them in general. They've picked the Spirit Breaker as a potential solution here to catch Brood out around on the map, but they don't have the best hero.
Oh, early vacuum.
Nice vacuum.
Siamese Cat making an appearance. The tombstone is killed by Celery. It's up one final Fade Bolt, but yeah, the Dirachi kill pretty big for Aster.
That's definitely a nice one for them. The Darkseer was falling behind massively, which is very normal against Bloodseeker. It's not a good matchup for Darkseer in lane. Despite playing with Spirit Breaker, you can't really put enough pressure against the Rubik plus BS, but with the third hero, you can cross that threshold and get it done. So, yeah, that's definitely very nice for them. As far as countering more, Brood is obviously one of those heroes that can buy almost anything. We'll see if Ace goes...
Yep, 17% or so they tell me. Celery very focused right now on not dying.
Nice try.
But he will... go down to Baboka
and aggroed the camp and tried to die to it, but Baboka with the charge.
But I'm sure he got more experience from that wisdom.
Yeah.
As we have a coil mid, but not a ton of follow-up. And he's just going to snap it, actually. Yeah. Not sure what that was about from Aster. SUMAIL. Has to be careful. He's used most of his... Okay. Trap is going to be there. Blast off as well. SUMAIL gets bursted. Didn't have any spells left, but here's a charge from Baboka to try to get a cleanup onto Quinn, and they will do so. So at least they get them.
I think SUMAIL might have felt a little bit pressured that he was going to get dove by the TA, and he wanted to cover himself and set up the charge. But it just, again, it wasn't clean in its execution. It was a bit too slow. No D-ward here. Nicely done by Aster to cover that with their Spirit Breaker puck combo and get the kill on Celery. Don't think they're going to be able to do any meaningful damage. I'm not really sure what the plan is. He went through a ward, by the way, so Aster know exactly what's coming their way.
Yep.
Maybe he's just going there to farm because bottom is too dangerous.
Yeah, Celery has been running into a lot of enemies this game.
Yeah. Draft for me right now for Aster is solving Ace, because Spirit Breaker Darkseer, I like it as a possible solution, but I do think they're going to be depending on SUMAIL to really keep that Brood down in this game.
Oh my, Flesh Golem was placed, Tombstone as well, anticipating some sort of a fight here. We have the Rupture, Coil from SUMAIL, who is ruptured. Blast Off does finish off Siamese Cat. The Coil providing a lot of cover. Oh my god, he actually snaps it. Dirachi just dies.
Getting out of this. I mean, sure, you keep killing Celery, but I don't think he minds the deaths that much because of the bigger picture.
Oh, another strike will be completed, and the bash on top of it. Celery gets off a telekinesis and dies again.
Seriously, just... Because it's like, with Bounty, at least the enemy team has to buy sentries, and you still get good information. You might get a track off before you die, and...
Charge up top. Ace getting gone on. XXS has made his way over here along with SUMAIL, so this will be an easy cleanup for Aster. For once, they're not killing Celery.
Yep.
But Celery, I'm sure, is close to traversing his way to...
Twinkie.
Yeah, that's my side.
Okay, have you ever been to a restaurant that offered that as a side?
In America, probably. Oh, we have the Flesh Golem and a Tombstone on the high ground.
It's a lot of zombies.
Not sure what spooked him exactly, but Celery, he's going to be able to take the Ion Shell. And the Coil reserved for Mr. Ace. So a good kill from Aster. But at the very least for game in the... Yep, they scan out, so now they know. And
Nice play. That's my call.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see it.
Or just redesigned.
Not just nerfed.
How
SUMAIL.
would you nerf it? It's a very binary item, right? Like, what would it do?
That is the problem. There's not many variables with it.
It's like you can there's a respawn on Spirit Breaker.
Yeah, and that should open up Aster to take their Tormentor if they really want to get it. But first, they're going to focus on Tofu. It's off the mech, but will die.
That's for your impertinence.
He was standing in theory.
Imagine you're just one of the really, like, you're an iconic Dota player. You go there for fun, for like holiday. You're just there in the crowd, and then I was like, oh, SUMAIL's here. Hey, you're kicked. We're getting SUMAIL.
I wouldn't blame him. Tofu getting charged. Tombstone on the cliff right now. Not sure how that interacts with grab ally. We'll get to that in just a moment, of course. The focus is on SUMAIL, who's silent right now, but there's a back wall. SUMAIL's going to live a little bit longer. The charge comes in, does connect onto Quinn. Gaming Gladiators lose their techies. They lose Ace, but SUMAIL finally dies after all that focus.
Quinn's
and
not
Quinn getting chased.
Too early.
Yeah, the waveform in from Monet. Double kill for him, so it's a 3-for-1.
Awesome against the TA, so I don't mind it. Opting to
smoke from Aster.
Smoke here.
Dyrachyo showing the blood right, so they know that he's probably in this area.
He's been
very right into them. He's gonna get bashed up and immediately killed. Big one for Aster. Dyrachyo's gonna get Fade bolted, which is nice. Minus attack % damage. Grab ally will be used for some reason. I think he forgot that you could enter it.
What?
I think he was just trying to right-click away. He's just trying to run.
His own.
Ace!
Oh,
he's
charged.
gonna get charged. That's gonna cancel the TP despite being BKB'd. Will snap the coil, but now gets nether struck onto the high ground. Kind of an awkward engagement for Aster. But the waveform, they have enough mobility to find him. And hey! Yep, Quinn. Again, just masterful with those reactions. And now exit.
And we really haven't seen much of Bloodseeker. And I mean,
well, Gaming Gladiators, they want to contest this. They smoke, and they are actually somewhat near. Tombstone inside. And you can see SUMAIL is going to pop the smoke. Will they get there in time? Roche is starting to get pretty low. They're actually going to exit the pit for the time being. Quinn jumps in. He wants to take it. He flashes the Aegis. They actually let him do that. SUMAIL does get the cheese. Dyrachyo continuing to chase Monet as Quinn just stuck in the pit perpetually, apparently. Has a Mjolnir applied to him now. A big blast off on the 4 from Tofu. He pops the mech, but Dyrachyo will fall. That's the first big hero to die for either side. SyndereN continuing to get chased, but Quinn in a pretty good spot can just right-click from afar. Now in a 1v1 battle with Monet, who turns into the spider. Refraction still active for Quinn. And Monet just has to walk over a bunch of mines. As the reset is here, so only 2 supports dead for Aster. It's Gaming Gladiators with the Aegis advantage now.
Yeah. Sounds like they might have been able to do something about that, but
middle tower is under attack.
Nice blast off there from Tofu. Still not too bad for Aster once again. SUMAIL. No coil.
He's chasing the Aegis Quinn. Charge onto Ace though, as he traverses to the high ground, the waveforming, killing a bunch of these spiders. And they're gonna kill the big spider as well, as Quinn now melded up, but they see him. Aegis goes down, and you'd have to think with the surround that they're gonna be able to take him down a second time. So nice job from Aster as the lead has ballooned to 6K.
From a coaching perspective, talking about the communication issues and being uncertain about what to do. You know what kind of hero says let's go? That's Spirit Breaker.
Yep.
That is literally the #1 hero in Dota to rally behind. Just get in there.
Coil. Phase shift was stolen. Yules is going to delay things again, but Celery... Oh, phase shift again. He's really delaying this.
Phasing. Oh, he almost had another one.
Celery will...
Morph is elusive, and what's your lockdown really, right?
Yeah.
You don't truly have a way of keeping them in place very long.
We're going to have a fight here. A big vacuum wall onto 3 from Gaming Gladiators. Quinn is dead. My goodness, they're just stuck here perpetually. So finally, the Surge is stolen, which will get Celery out of here, but that's 2 kills. The buildings are going down quite fast to Monet.
Radiant structure.
Fortification activated. Quinn's back up in 15 seconds.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
This tower at the very least will be down, or will go down.
Radiant's
Tombstone is
middle
placed,
tower has fallen.
which indicates Aster probably want to continue to fight this. I don't see why not, still with that cheese for Monet. He's going to get ruptured. And grab ally, of course. And there's the coil onto several heroes. DREAMLEAGUE pops the BKB. Oh, another beautiful vacuum. But no wall to follow it up with this time. Monet has to pop the cheese this time. Lots of damage being applied to him. The Spirit Breaker does fall. Darkseer was inside the Tombstone. They finally get Monet. As the rest of Aster now on the run. SUMAIL, do they have the lockdown? They have the silence with the trap. Gets off the Yules. Now he's surrounded. Phase shift.
Radiant's bottom
He doesn't have
tower
spells ready.
has fallen.
Mine placed underneath him. He's lifted and brought down. So it's
Maybe the steepest.
yeah, that's really.
That is extremely steep on the XP. Holy.
Up charge. They're going to catch Tofu right off the bat. He has his greaves. We'll be able to get it off. He does, but will die shortly after. Staying alive quite a while.
Decent damage done.
Yep. Rupture is applied, and they delete Siamese Cat. It's a 1-for-1. DREAMLEAGUE focusing on the Tombstone. They'll get it, so no grab ally available anymore for Aster. BKB from DREAMLEAGUE. He's just man-fighting Monet. 1v1. Now the illusions come out. He's trying to get away, but the blood mist is too much. Double kill for DREAMLEAGUE, and the rest of Aster likely to try to run away. Exorcist, did he just blink into that? I think he did, and he will pay the price. But Boca trying to save his teammate. It's like, what are you?
Hexen killed off like that by the TA again. Easier said than done, though. Especially with the vision inferiority you're going to have the entire time. Spiderlings, mines, TA traps. Eamon will know what's up.
Yep, Spider scouting things out. Gaiman are now smoked up. There's the harpoon initiation from Ace. And you can see the right click. Some big back wall finally comes in, but BKB's galore. The coil was the follow-up as well. And this is a lot of damage being applied to Gaiman now. They're still stuck in this area. And that's going to be the death of Quinn. We'll have to buy back instantly and get back here to try to get Roche. 3 buybacks, in fact, from Gaiman Gladiators. DREAMLEAGUE kind of left alone for the time being while his teammates try to reconnect. Pops the BKB, although wasn't actually getting chased, and now the harpoon comes in from Ace. He's reconnected to this fight. He almost gets insta-given and just dies. Will buy back finally as the Blood Mist doing some damage, but it's not going to be nearly enough as SUMAIL finishes off the triple kill. And the big deal for Gaiman Gladiators is that DREAMLEAGUE does not have buyback here.
Really hard, and Aster got to combine all of their spells beautifully to kill off multiple heroes, and yeah, that looks lethal.
Yeah, Aster back with a 7K lead, just where they left off a few minutes ago. Nothing's really changed since then. Another strike from Baboka. Celery has a lot of HP because he stole the attribute shift earlier. 3,200 HP Rubik.
That's the Trickster Cloak. Never used it. I don't, do they have gem there? He was dusted. Okay, it does. Already died outside the base. No buyback. No buybacks at all, in the as a matter of fact, for Gaiman Gladiators. They burnt everything on that road.
Yeah, they sure did. Rupture's there. DREAMLEAGUE pops the BKB, wants to fight, walks right into the wall, but a big charge comes out to control Quinn. DREAMLEAGUE kind of left alone to try to get a kill here. Grab ally used onto the Morphling. He's going to walk off the Rupture.
DREAMLEAGUE's mega fast.
And Ace, he's getting pursued in the trees, and the last right click's enough for Monet. Basically a dieback from Ace. And the charge in. Quinn, he's gonna get solo coiled by SUMAIL.
Under attack.
We'll pop the BKB in response, but now the buildings are in peril as Gaiman left with just 3 members right now. SUMAIL, he's still silenced. We have the charge in. Monet, he's going in deep. Nice vacuum again onto 3. Not able to get any follow-up this time. But either way, creates enough space for Aster to likely get these buildings uncontested, although Gaiman trying to make it hard on him.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack. Radiant's bottom
Charge on to Quinn. Oh my god, that's a lot of mines on Baboka, but he will live through the day. And now the focus is on the Quinn. DREAMLEAGUE, he gets 1 kill, that's the Aegis. And the silence is just decimating SUMAIL over and over again. Tombstone's placed, wall was placed. And now they're going for the mid set of racks, and this will be mega creeps for Aster.
Listen, you gave me this game state, it's like, I don't know, it's like 95-5 probably for the Dire, something like this.
That's pretty high still. 5.
Yeah, there's, you know, we're late enough into the game that the Radiant lineup can snowball the fight crazily with the Bloodseeker.
Aster, they want to go in here. Charge onto Quinn. Follow up by Monet. He's going to have the BKB. All the focus is on this team. but Quinn able to get out. He's fine, and Dyrachyo, he's going to try to go for Monet instead with that Blood Mist activated. They're getting the sheep off. Is this a dead Morphling? It's getting close. He gets off the Manta. He's getting harpooned back in by Ace, and they do kill him. Will have the buyback available if he wants to reconnect in this fight. And now the focus is on the big fat cow, which they will eat up. Delicious burger for Dyrachyo and company. X-Nest, he's going to die as well. It's a 1-for-3 in favor of Game and Gladiators. The Siamese cat actually able to TP out, and SUMAIL, he's going to get focused, silenced again, and killed again. That was Aegis. They have cheese. They have refresher shard.
What did he put the shard on?
I think XX.
Ever gonna come in unannounced though? Like, did they find it? They might actually find an angle here with no.
Oh. Okay, they do find Celery to start things out. He's pretty tanky, as we've talked about. Instant sheep onto Morph. Monet will back away for the time being, but triple coil right now. Game and Gladiators seem to be fine. They're just right here, though, is Baboka getting pounded. Will pop the cheese. Apparently, they gave it to him. He's going to die. Meanwhile, Dyrachyo on the other side, on top of Monet, the double BKB activated, but the bash is there, and Monet will lose the Aegis. Siamese cat going down the right click on Quinn. That's going to be an easy one for Game, and they have lost 0 members of their team so far. And there's the Hex onto SUMAIL, the harpoon back, but he does get the Yules off. The blink as well, and they actually find him. It doesn't look like it. Charge now onto Dyrachyo. Do they actually want to turn this around, or is this just to try to save SUMAIL?
Yeah, will Baboka get out from this? Looks like it.
Radiant's middle tower.
Maybe, maybe not.
Silenced up.
It's a dieback if they get him here.
Yeah, harpoon back into the right clicks, down for 2. We have another Roche for Aster that is uncontested. Another Aegis, cheese, and refresher shard. They don't want to wait for daytime.
If there was any game for a block, this is the one.
Well, who? Okay.
You have full map control. You have 2 cheeses.
Greater Healing Lotus on Baboka. Now, okay, charging onto Dyrachyo. Getting the blood right off. On the BKB and trying to right click his way through this, but he's not going to be able to get off the BKB at all, and he's just dead.
Wait, what?
Interesting decisions.
All right, it's time to play Minesweeper.
Yeah, that's the problem. You can't just go really fast in.
It's fucking New Year's Eve, boys. Let's go. Woo. Everything is blowing off. Took 1 million damage from mines. There's traps going off. We just need some
back to base.
More mines.
One of the few alt chats from Celery that you'll ever see. Okay, the coil actually going to be popped right away, and their mines are just continuing to explode. And the grab ally used for the time being. They're not going to buy back in on Dyrachyo. They really want to force this back into the wall. There's the buyback from Dyrachyo. Can they get something out of this? The AoE surge coming out, but there's the rupture. They're going to kill the tombstone first. And have just the one?
Just the one for now, I think. They haven't had access. Which is why this is a good power play from Aster. Like, take advantage before the tier 5s come out for the enemy team. 2 mirror shields. Book of the Dead.
Yeah, you can see they're just wandering around randomly.
Rupture.
Rupture comes out onto Monet. Not going to be used anywhere. Okay. Back wall, double BKB now. The Hex onto Quinn, but he's going to be able to walk this off. They're not really doing much damage right here. As Gaiman are just able to stand their ground, but there's the charge onto Dyrachyo. That's the big kill. Remember, he pops his BKB, has the Ex Machina still. But that will be a dieback if they're able to grab him. So that should be their main target. Building's not really taking any damage at all, as many traps still remain. Extra tombstone attacks to die, very important for grab ally. Yep. Protect.
This is a bit of a heads up. This is how it started.
There's a double damage in the top river as well, but they're not going to see it. Off the sheep, onto Dyrachyo, the charge to follow, but the counter initiation's coming. Dyrachyo gets saved. That's his second BKB, by the way. Wind Waker's going to save SUMAIL, and it looks like Ace is going to be the first to fall in this engagement. SUMAIL, though, he's disarmed, able to get out just barely. No, he dies and buys back in the game. He'll be back shortly, but Dyrachyo's the big kill. Die back for him. Techies dies as well. Will buy back in the next to their fountain with all these mines that they have to sweep. Quinn dies, buys back as well. So now it's a 4 versus 5 in favor of Aster, still with the double cheese. They get both tier 4s. And the fortification's a little bit too early. Ace now focusing on the Undying, but he's going to get surged. And Aster with a major advantage now. Halberd applied to Monet. Okay, he's actually able to dodge that thanks to the Eulith, but Monet is taking the massive amount of damage to attribute shifting away. But the stolen charge looks like it was canceled. Big waveform comes in. And Monet able to get out in time as well, as Quinn is going to be CC'd for the time being. Still right next to his fountains. Now they can focus the Ancient without having to worry about anything else. And this looks to be the end of game number 2. Finally, as Aster should take it, and they do.
Oh my.
In 64 minutes. Goodness gracious. So, man, okay, that's the most emotion he showed.
There is an